It is a chill evening here in Arua City, and we're broadcasting right from the studios of Polar Star Event Management. And Polar Star is located in the heart of Arua City, Mass Plaza, that is the previous OB Plaza, and they are located at Adumi Road. For more information about them, you can call this number and you get to them, and they do a lot of photography, videography. You can come here for your photo shoots, every kind of business regarding photos and videos, ranging from weddings to introductions to pre-weddings, maybe even baby shower and so on. They're all good at that. You can trust me on that. My name is Sophie, and today Uganda is 63. Happy Independence Day. We are really in a very, very high gear, and we are talking independence here at the studio. And the good news is I am not alone. I'm going to be engaging somebody very special, and let's give an opportunity for her to unveil herself and introduce herself to you. And we talk about celebrating independence. You're most welcome to the studios.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here today. It's always interesting meeting you, and happy independence.
It's nice meeting you too. Happy independence, and thank you so much for honoring my invitation to come to the studio with me today.
Thank you.
I read a writing of yours this morning, and it struck me. Let me just read it a bit. A free Uganda, happy independence, Uganda. You said independence is more than flags and fireworks. It's absolute freedom, a quiet liberation from people, places, and things. It is knowing yourself enough with or without the applause, with or without the crowd. You went a long way, and it's understanding your inherent values beyond what you own, beyond who stays, beyond what you've lost, and so on. So, what does independence mean to you?
All right, thank you so much for asking that. Before I answer that, I'm Gala Winfred. I'm an author, I'm a speaker. I authored this book, Affirmation for the Melanin Girl. And I'm patriotic. I think one of the biggest blessings for me is being African.
Okay.
Being from Arua, I'm like in my dream country.
Wow. You know, like all these people who say, I wish I was born in America or UK or something like that.
Once upon a time I was that, but I learned that I'm just in the right place.
Wow.
I'm in the right country. So I just love being here.
Okay.
So independence to me, I talked about its liberation from people, places, and things.
Yes.
That is what we call absolute freedom. You know, we're being raised in a place where we believe, we think we are free, yet we are attached.
Okay.
Someone, as long as you give out your power to somebody, they still control you and you're not free. So that's why we say it's not about the flags, it's not about other things, it's not about the crowd, but it's about you.
That's right.
Am I free from people? There are people who feel like they do not have values as long as they do not have certain attachments. Society taught us it's the space of being a mom, being a wife, being a husband, being a parent. Now there are so many people stuck because they do not have maybe those aspects in their lives. They feel life is useless. And then there is the thing of places where people think maybe they could be better off when in Europe or other parts of the world.
Yes.
I call it the Eurocentric mindset. And then when you look at the things, sometimes right now we have certain gadgets that people feel like, they make me. Without them, I'm not enough. And so that is now the freedom I'm talking about.
Like you mean the filters and the apps?
Yeah, it could be even the gadgets like phones.
Okay.
There are phones now, there are phone brands where people are like, this is it. As long as you have it, like everyone thinks you're right.
I get it, like the trending one who is up there.
Exactly. So these different things, the things that we attach value to, sometimes it could be the homes and all these kind of things.
Okay.
So a lot of people lose themselves when they do not have them. And remember, those things give you the public applause, right? Oh my God, she has the car,
yes.
She has this, she is valuable. So the one who does not have it starts feeling empty. They start feeling they're not good enough. They're not independent.
So with this, what exactly is independence, and how can we celebrate it all together, like without letting someone behind, and also without allowing the other one go too far ahead, that this one who is left behind is going to feel, oh.
I think to me, independence is, I talked about, is absolute freedom.
Yes.
Being free from people, places, and things.
Yes.
And as long as you're liberated from people, then you get to meet authentic Sophie, right? Because there is that version of it. There is something about you that you must bring out to the world, but it is in your name.
Yes.
But you're not going to pick that part of you as long as you're still attached externally. And so now this is where now these conversations come in. How can we celebrate it? Well, get to meet yourself. Now today I know there are a lot of parades happening out there, and people are going to dance. Yeah, we're going to understand our culture, which is a lot of people fear. A lot of people fear being associated to most of our cultures. You know, there are these Lugbaras who don't want to be.
Obviously, you don't want to be identified as a Lugbara.
Even broadly Northerners, even as Africans, we struggle with that thing. So this is a moment because, self-acceptance starts from the little things. When I'm able to embrace my culture, I'm able to embrace my identity, I'm able to embrace my country, my continent, then to me, I think that is where the independence
everything that is associated with me, I have to accept it as my own and embrace it.
Exactly.
Wow, that's right. It's Uganda at 63. So how has independence evolved over time? You can talk about this broadly, socially, politically, economically, whatever way you have the freedom to explore. But there were some things that were in history that have either been thrown away or some people are still embracing it. What do you think are those that would be of advantage to us, for us to embrace up to now, that were right from history?
I think I was working on a write-up. I said Uganda is like a single mom.
Okay. Yeah, I saw.
She's like a single mom who is evolving from, she was once married, maybe she found it was toxic.
So what was your idea of Uganda being a single mom?
I know, but remember, they had to withdraw from the British. Part of it where we want to see how we can manage ourselves.
Exactly.
We want to see how we can take leadership. We want to see how we could be on our own. That was one of the things. And it was them having to liberate themselves from somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has evolved, and we have had series of transformations. I think one of the greatest things for me is the affirmative action.
Okay.
Because when you look so many years back, the girl child was neglected.
That's true.
Education was quite challenging. The girls didn't go to school. When someone had a son and a daughter, they had to choose one they would give to the son. But right now we have spaces where the girls have evolved, the women have evolved, and it is something I'm passionate about. Because recently, I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of fathers are dying.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of men are dying. And imagine if the women were disempowered. Meaning a child would not have an education. The child would not, maybe some could die to illnesses. And so some of these programs that come in, like the affirmative actions, are being a very big blessing.
Okay.
Of course, initially there was a lot of resistance, and even still till today, online we have some of those conversations where I've said there's equality between men and women, and people keep saying, no, one is better.
I don't want to digress, but that's a different topic on its own. I hope we'll get time when we come and talk about this sometime back.
But the affirmative action is one of the things that is in the place of equality. And then when you go to the place of, let's talk about politics.
Okay.
A lot has evolved. Now, I was reading through the history, and you've seen there were so many presidents that came forth before our actual president.
Exactly, yes.
And the wars. When you get to hear, unfortunately, some of us were born in this regime.
And we have never experienced
we have not experienced others. So for me, there is the fear of, okay, what happens after this? Am I ready to run? Or what happens to my daughter, right? So there's been a peaceful, I want to say that the peace, which is that there's no war, we are living well. I think for me that is a very big blessing. I've read stories where people saying there's so much of the running and all that. But of course, right now, when you also look at the political wing, I still struggle with it.
Okay.
Especially with the fact that there are certain laws that are coming and they are not favoring a certain group. That is also a story for another time.
Exactly.
And then when you get to the space of education itself, there's been an involvement. Remember, the old curriculum used to give us the space of job seeking.
Yes, job seeking, the white collar jobs.
Exactly, grow up, get a job. But right now, I've been listening to a place of grow up, create a job. Now, this is where the young people are in, and it's a very difficult thing. It's like, you've been yielding mangoes, and they're saying, now give us grapes. Now, it's so difficult for the teachers and all this. So there's so much that is evolving, and I believe it's a beautiful change.
It is, much as it comes with its struggles.
Challenges, and it's normal. We'll cope up. We shall cope up. Yeah.
Hopefully we shall.
We shall.
And someone said about this new curriculum that everyone is selling something, but nobody's buying.
I think this is now why we need to go back to ourselves.
Okay.
When I am not myself, I'm going to watch Sophie. Sophie is going to watch me. What is she doing? So in that place where we are looking at each other, we are not looking into us, then creation is impossible. Creativity is the third level in learning. Learning has three phases. There's the place of education, there's the space of empowerment, and there's the space of enlightenment. Now, our curriculum has been putting us in the place of knowledge, and they take us to empowerment, and the empowerment they understand is job seeking.
Okay.
Now, but we now need to help the young people understand that this is beyond job seeking. There are other things you could do as an individual.
Okay.
So now that's where now the creation, innovation comes in. Yes. But until we reach that level, it's going to be very challenging. Actually, one of the reflections I've been saying that 10 years from now, what Uganda are we likely to see? That's why now teachers need to, schools, even religious entities, they need to look back within, and now we need to help people tap inside to bring out whatsoever God has put in
This
them.
whole thing is actually focusing on creativity. And as you said, bringing the in of you for people to see. Now let's talk about the creativity as in itself. Celebrating independence in Uganda, not only Uganda, can kind of seem dramatic because let's talk about this creativity. People talk about dance and drama and the parades and all that sort of interesting things that they do. Recently, we were just attending the independence of Sudan, where the students gathered in Eri Park and a lot of things were shared. They were dancing and jubilating and all that. So, what do you think is the importance of this dance and drama? Because this has been a repetitive history. Since I was young, we used to have these drums where we walk on the road singing and all that. But even up to now, it is still happening.
I think I told you identity begins from knowing you, right?
Yeah.
For us to talk about creation, for us to talk about innovation, it starts from me, embracing me. I mean, one of the quickest way we can get to embrace ourselves is when we begin with our culture. Yeah, when we start with those dances, when we start with that, the music, the reflection back to our identity. One of the things I think I read somewhere, they say people understand best from their own language.
But it's true, it's logical.
Yeah, people understand from their own language. So I think these actually are things that take us back to that place. It's taking us back to that origin of trying to understand from your own place. And I think that gives you the freedom now to create, to be who you are. And that's why we really encourage the young people. Like currently there's a style where children are not learning their home languages, even their schools. My daughter usually tells me, Mommy, we don't speak local language.
She wants English.
She has been told that it's the right language. So I think maybe those could be some of the things we need. By the way, it should be one of the reflective points during the independence, celebration. How do we ensure that we allow the kids embrace
the culture, the language,
the language, alongside what innovation or what the new curriculum brings.
It's bringing up.
It doesn't mean that if I speak Akwa or you speak Lubara, we're less.
No, we're not.
No. That makes me. But if I add that to it, it's just an enhancer.
Of course, our people is made right from the country, then we come back to the parishes, the villages, the clans, and the language. And every person has an identification.
And that is who you are. Because remember, I've actually been, whenever I have conversations with the concepts of identity, I always say you represent a unique story. There's a story you're telling.
Yeah.
So when they trace it back, your DNA takes us back to your ancestor. And so if I choose to be like you, I am transforming who I am. I am changing that story, which is not right.
Okay.
I'm not respecting my ancestors.
I see you are you're very passionate about this, especially the personal independence of young people. Tell us about your new program that we do with the girls.
Thank you so much. We're going to have a girls mentorship program where there's an entity or group I have called her mentorship program, and in it we're looking at the girls edition. It's going to be in December from 7th to 13th. It's going to be a 1-week session, and currently we talked about the shift in the curriculum. A lot of young people are now, first of all, our curriculum that helps us at the place of empowerment.
Okay.
But the empowerment we understand is job seeking.
That's right.
But now we want to help the young people broaden their mindset beyond job seeking. And that's why we're going to have these conversations with the girls. We're going to see how do we help them draw from within. This way we have the concept of trauma healing. We're starting from the foundations with them. Then we go to the place of self-mastery. Then we go to the place called the boxless imagination. That is just to help them now innovate and all that. So it's going to be at a cost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be at a cost, parent sponsored, and I think maybe they'll.
I see a lot of conversations going on the WhatsApp platforms and all that, but there is a whole lot coming up for the girl child, right?
Exactly. That is particularly for the girl, because remember I told you our nature makes women more vulnerable. No matter what we do, and again, if we're letting especially men handle this, men do not understand womanhood to the death.
You're right.
So when I talk about my traumas as a woman, a man might not understand because he sees trauma from a male perspective.
So is there a plan of incorporating this also for the boys?
I have a colleague who does a boys program.
Okay.
Yeah, he's also doing so well. It's called the Boys to Men Mentorship Program. I think you can check it out online on all other social media platforms.
All right.
Yeah,
that aside, let's look at the personal independence of these young people. Not only young people, but let's talk about everyone. How do we incorporate this independence to make it personal? It's not just Uganda celebrating, let it be.
Go back and meet yourself. That is the first one, because I talked about that. Number 2, go back and heal yourself.
Okay.
Because our history has had a lot of dirty things, right? There are those dirts that have been thrown to us. Like right now, there's so many Africans. I don't know how many Africans do not have a Brodian dream. Everyone want to run away.
Everyone wants to relocate to America and stay that side.
Exactly. And why? Because there's been a past you've been taught about being African. You've had a story about your identity, and now you want to shift it. Can we go back and heal? Because your role is supposed to begin the transformation right from here as you move out. Then number 3 is get to love you. Get to love yourself. Because in loving yourself is when you're going to bring out. You're going to listen much more to yourself, the intuition. I've always thought that your body speaks. Your mind speaks. But you cannot listen to your body, especially speak, as long as you don't love you. So these are some of the things any young person can do to themselves.
Okay, let's talk about the first point, then we shall come to this. Actually, this last point, it is something to be taken home. But the first one, you said, this point where you said everyone wants to relocate and people have dreams, and some of them don't get to achieve them. And some of them eventually get to achieve them through ambitions, anything is possible to work towards it. But when we were celebrating the independence of Sudan just in July, I saw a lot. There was a cultural dance, people showcasing talents, people building themselves and learning from each other. These were young people, and I saw a lot in promoting national pride. And just to be sure, are you against people relocating? Or?
I'm not against people relocating because there's power in moving around,
Okay.
right? I remember the first time I had to move out of especially my location, Arua, to Adjumani, something shifted. Just this short difference.
Okay.
So everywhere when we move around, it's beautiful because it helps in exposure is very key for your mindset.
Okay, that was just for the clarity. Clarity.
Yeah.
If you want to relocate to America, it is okay.
Please do. But remember, you're going there for a purpose.
Yes.
And do not forget the roots.
Their purpose. Let's talk about it.
There is a purpose.
How can we promote national pride? One in Uganda, and then even in that place where people were going to in other countries. So how can we stand to promote this national pride?
One of the things you can do is, for example, on the social media, I've been so particular, even on my book actually.
Okay.
I've been like, I'm from Arua. And now there's so many people who love to hide that identity. Being free about where you come from is one of the ways you can promote it. Number two is your digital image. I've seen people who go online and sometimes what they write, remember, there's someone who might never meet a Ugandan and you're their first Ugandan friend.
Yes.
So what you write is already a representation of the rest of the Ugandans they have never met. So what are you putting online? Because that is going to speak on behalf of the rest of the Ugandans. So that is one of the ways we need to check our digital image. What are we putting out there? Is it good? Is it good for our country? When they get to listen to you, are you perfectly representing that, the country, or even your location? Because remember, they might also never meet someone from Arua.
True.
Then they meet you as their Facebook person. I don't know if you've ever come across these vulgarous people. My God. There's so many. Yeah? Someone can put words and you're like, oh my God. Like, don't you care? What are you thinking? Yeah?
They just throw the words.
So I think those could be some of the ways you can see how we can promote this. Number three, being authentically you. That is one of the ways you can show. Then finally, good work.
Okay.
You know, the easiest way someone can hire someone, especially for a job, if you did a good work as an individual.
Yeah, call it competence.
Next time someone closer to you comes in and they say, she's Lubara, they're like, oh, Sophie did a good job.
Like you cleaned the name for everyone after you.
You already cleaned the name for everyone. And so when that weird person comes, they're like, Sophie used to be good. What happened? But then if you started it on the wrong way, you've already dated the whole thing. People get suspicious on hiring you. So I think those could be some of the ways.
Okay. So we are almost done with our podcast, but let's talk to the young people. What difference can we make and how can we make this difference?
One of the things I would like every young person to know is Africa is waiting for you. You did not come here as a mistake. There is a print the world is waiting for from you. And so for you to get that print, you need to fully evolve into who you are. And I've always said this body is a container. Because, you know, a lot of, especially now, the women and men were struggling with their skin colors. We're struggling with our bodies. We struggle as we advance in age. And then in that process, you block your creative ability.
Okay.
Because you're trying to fit and look like everybody else. Can you embrace your uniqueness and fully evolve into who you are so that you're able to be the gift you are to Africa?
Thank you so much. We are talking about self-independence. We are talking about identifying yourself, getting to embrace yourself, representing your country, promoting the national pride, and also promoting that unique thing in you as a personal pride.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you have final words?
Work on yourself. Uganda is waiting for you. Can you have a vision for Uganda? What impact would you want to live in Uganda? And I think that's a quote in my book. It allows you to reflect on what impact you'd want to live in Uganda as a nation, because there is a contribution. Being a wife is good, being a mom is good, being a husband is good, being a father is good. But what contribution are you doing beyond your household?
Okay.
Because you are not only called to serve at home, you're called to serve beyond.
That's right.
So what are you doing? I think that's my last word.
Actually, it is a food for thought. We are just not talking about you being attached to somebody, but what can you do? Uganda is waiting for me, and
yes,
what can I do to make Uganda better? What can Winnie do to make Uganda better? Well, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being with us right from the beginning out to this time. As I said before, we are broadcasting right from Polar Star Events Management, and the studios are located at Mass Plaza, the former Obi Plaza, located at Adumi Road, as I said, in the heart of Arua City. For more information, there is a contact here on the screen you can call for any business to do with them. My name is Aita Sophie, and we have been talking about celebrating independence, and we narrowed it not just independence of the country, but then your self-independence as well. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and click on that notification bell so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we post a new video. We will continue doing this on various topics with different people, and hopefully we will have to bring her here again and we'll talk about other things.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and catch up later.